We're back here. This is
all new format.
Absolutely, this is new. You get to see our faces.
For sure.
Super exciting for you guys, I'm sure. Blake, we got a lot of things going at the Heble Byers Show now. 3 shows a week, new website, a lot of fun stuff happening, and we've got a great show. We might get a great guest.
We're working on bringing in a big-time guest. He may be calling today. If it's not today, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week. So we'll do our best to get him in, though. I think you guys will be excited about him. Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Let's get right into it.
Yeah, let's jump into it.
We'll go over the format a little bit of our show. We're going to have an opening debate pretty much every week. Then we'll have some main topics, and then we'll take your questions weekly. But this opening debate, we are going to say who will be better for their respective school. Chris Kleiman for K-State or Les Miles for KU. Who's the better hire and who's going to be the better coach? Blake, I'm assuming you're going to take Les Miles in this fight.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, what are you thinking?
I mean, right now KU needs anything but an unproven coach. Les Miles is proven. He's proven in the Big 12, even at Oklahoma State. He, you know, he's got a great resume. He has lots of experience. He's bringing in a staff that has tons of experience. And I think for KU, they need somebody just to, not to be a national title contender, obviously, just somebody to pull them out of the rut and get them to a team that can compete. And I think Les Miles is a guy for that. I think he can recruit well, which is always important when you're recruiting to Lawrence, Kansas for football. Not the easiest, so if you get a guy that can come in and recruit, that'll help out a lot. So I mean that's my opinion. I just think like for KU, he's about as good of a fit as you're gonna get. So
yeah, I agree that Les Miles is a good hire. I'm not gonna sit here and debate, you know, is he a good hire or not, because I think that absolutely that's the guy that KU had to hire in the situation they're in. But I think Chris Kleiman in the long run is gonna be the better coach. I think he's gonna last longer. I like the hire for Les Miles, but I just don't see it really panning out. Maybe 3-4 years, and I think he's gonna be gone. You know, maybe you guys get to a bowl game, maybe. But that's kind of where I see his peak at KU. I just don't really see it working out. And Chris Kleiman, you know, originally I talked about it on this show that I didn't really like the hire to start, but I think every day since then, every social media video, I've really grown on Kleiman and the way how he just fits with K-State's culture and how hard he's going to recruit at K-State. So I think Chris Kleiman's going to do really good things. I think we're going to make it. We're going to be back in a bowl game next year, and we'll just continue to get better from there.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Miles could be there for 5 or more years. Is honestly my opinion. I know he's an older guy, but
well, or he just retires, you know, after a couple years and goes and pursues acting. That's a
possibility. I think he's even starring in a movie.
He is. I think it's about the Challenger disaster. So
yeah, so I mean that's pretty awesome though.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
As far as that goes, that makes our coach way cooler than your coach.
Yeah, but we have Bruce Weber, which is way cooler than your coach.
What? Bruce Weber?
Bruce Weber's a cool dude.
Old man? Granny kiss?
Yeah.
No. Barry! No, get out of here. No, but I mean, I think Miles, like I already said this, but I think the KU needs a guy that can start immediately improving the program, and to me, that's not going to be a younger guy that doesn't have much experience, and like a guy like Kleiman, I mean, he has experience, just kind of at a different level, you know. I mean,
I understand that.
I understand that he was like recruiting Midwest guys, and like football's football no matter where you go, and obviously if you're a good coach, you can know the X's and O's, but I think for a guy that has done it, especially in this conference before, I know it's been a while, but Miles won at Oklahoma State. He went to some bowl games at Oklahoma State, so he knows how to get it done in the Big 12. And so I think for KU, I don't think we could have found much better hire unless Sean McVay wanted to come coach the Kansas Jayhawks.
That would have been sweet. But here's my question though: is who's going to have more wins in their tenure at their program? I mean, like,
well, I don't know that Miles will have a tenure.
Well, okay, yeah, I know what you're saying, but like, Who's gonna have
like in a 5-year span?
Who's gonna find more? Fine, 5-year span. Who's gonna find more success?
All right, we'll say after.
Okay.
After KU gets out of the rut.
Sure. Yeah.
Correct.
I'm saying.
So I'm not saying Miles is gonna go out there and win a bowl game his first year there, because obviously, I mean, like, KU's still bad. Like, they're a bad team.
Yeah.
Like, them and K-State were the worst teams in the Big 12 last year.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I feel like, but obviously, I think KU has more rebuilding to do than K-State. I mean, K-State's already got top of the line facilities. They've got, you know, a winning tradition of late. That hey, I hate to say it, but I mean, really, compared to KU, like, yeah. But I don't know. I think after KU kind of gets things rebuilt, they get some hype around the program. I think in the long run, Miles recruits better than Kleiman, and I think they will get more wins than K-State.
Kleiman went right into the Lawrence area and got Keenan Garber and Jack Deneen. So.
Okay, we didn't even offer Jack Deneen.
Well, you maybe should have, and you would have got the 4-star Garber.
I'm just saying we didn't offer him though. I don't think Garber would come with him, but
yeah, they were kind of a package deal. That's kind of what they said, but that's why we got both of them.
Man,
listen,
we didn't. I don't know.
I just think Kleiman is going to be able to win now at K-State because really next year is going to depend on Skylar Thompson. He is going to really be the team next year. If he takes a stride in Kleiman's system, this team's going to go to a bowl game and do well into the next year too. So I think Kleiman is going to win now, and at that 5-year point, I think we're going to look and say K-State's better off than KU was, or than KU is, you know, at that 5-year point. Because I just think Les Miles, I just see it fizzling out. Maybe in year 3 he gets you to a bowl game, but I just don't see it going any farther than that.
All right.
Shall we end?
I think that's a bad outlook for you, but I mean, I just think like you're not giving this guy much credit. He's a national championship winning head coach. I get it. It's LSU. It's different than winning at KU.
He's a pretty average coach down the stretch. And he's been out of the game a little bit.
He's been out of the game a little bit, but football's football, man.
Yeah. Okay. Should we move on from that?
I guess so.
We're still waiting on that guest.
Yeah, guys. We'll see if he comes in. We'll see.
It'll be awesome if he does. But let's move on. Blake, you want to take us into our next topic?
Yeah. So we're gonna talk a little bit about the games you have all been ranting about, which I'm getting tired of, to be honest, Carson.
Are you talking about both of them?
Both games. Okay. First off, do you want to start with the Patriots Chiefs? Because I think that's.
No, let's start off in chronological order. Saints Rams. Let's do that one.
Okay.
We'll end on the Chiefs Patriots because I know that's what everyone is.
All right. Yeah. So Carson.
Yeah. Okay.
My thoughts on this game is, I get it. They got hosed. That sucks, right? But
my thoughts,
I mean, New Orleans got the ball in overtime.
Great point you make there, Blake.
So like, don't turn it over. And you win the game. I mean, go down and score. Like, you have this offense that everybody's been saying is the best offense in the league, maybe. Them and the Chiefs, Go get the job done. I mean, I get it, like, but don't put the referees in the position where they have to blow the game. Like, I get it, and that sucks. And if I was a New Orleans fan, I'd feel the same way. I'd be ticked off. But, and yeah, there's no excuse for the ref. Like, they just blew that. But human error is something that's always going to happen.
Absolutely.
So
I gotta plug my. I wrote an article about it on our website. Yeah. Which I basically say exactly what Blake said there. Listen, the Saints got off to a 13-point lead, and really it should have been more than that. It should have been 21-0 because they got into field goal range and couldn't finish. But they looked like by far the superior team throughout that whole first quarter and really the whole game until kind of that end there. And yeah, it's a bad call. If it would have got called, they probably would have just ran out the clock or went down and scored. So it sucks when you look at it that way. But I mean, we make a big fuss about the overtime rules in the Kansas City Patriots game, coin toss wins the game. Well, the coin toss didn't win the game in this instance.
Yeah,
the Saints won the coin toss.
Exactly.
And their veteran quarterback threw an interception.
Which it did get batted up or whatnot, but
well, it was not. It was not safe. It was.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I mean, they jumped out to a 13-0 lead in the first quarter, and then the second quarter, they let the Rams right back into the game, and then from there it was kind of just deadlocked the rest of the game. But like,
yeah, the Rams, they just didn't look that good to me the whole game. It was, and then all of a sudden they were winners with.
But I think with the Rams, they've got guys that'll make plays, especially on their defense. Like, when it comes down to it, like Aaron Donald, Aqib Talib, Ndamukong Suh, I mean,
yeah,
Marcus Peters, they've got guys all over that defense that are playmakers. Like Marcus Peters is maybe not always the greatest cover corner, but he's a playmaker. Like, he's a guy that'll take a risk to make a big play. And so that's why the Rams are my Super Bowl pick.
Oh, okay. Just cutting ahead there.
I mean, we'll talk about it later, but I'm just saying, like, they made plays for my defense all year in fantasy football. By the way, shout out.
Oh, yeah.
I am the fantasy football champion. Listen, I'll take my bow. But
I'll admit when I was wrong. My team. Listen, if AJ Green doesn't go down though, I'm in the ship. I totally blew it in the semifinal. We were set up to have
a perfect matchup,
a Blake and me matchup in the championship, and then Brett Heitschmidt, terrible team.
Yeah,
I had the lowest scoring points of the season.
4-win, 5-win team. Or something
I blew it, guys.
Yeah,
super disappointing. But yeah, I'm kind of bummed. I was rooting for the Saints. I wanted the Saints to Chiefs Super Bowl.
I was too.
I like Drew Brees, and
it
would have been cool to see Brees and Brady, knowing that the Patriots went on to win.
Yeah, but I'd still rather see the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I just hate Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. Let's just be honest, people. I am what they call a hater. I mean, I get that they're great, but I hate them.
Yeah,
like,
well, I think everybody does.
I mean, for the most part.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of Patriots fans.
There is.
And they're nauseating.
Well, yeah, they're all over Twitter, too.
Yeah, I mean, blah, blah, blah. Tom Brady's assistant quarterback, anyways. Don't get me started, but,
yeah, should we just go into the...
I don't think really there's anything else to cover on this game. I mean, like, Jared Goff played well. I mean, he outplayed Drew Brees, in my estimation.
He did.
For most of the game.
Drew Brees didn't have a great game at all.
Yes.
Let's move on then.
Yeah,
Chiefs and Patriots.
Let's do it.
The game that was really one of the best games I've seen in a
heartbreaking loss for the fans.
Oh yeah,
of the Kansas City Chiefs. One of them being my father.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
He didn't speak for 2 days afterwards, and I'm not kidding, guys. When I say this, I'm saying that, like, he seriously did not talk to anybody. And the first thing he said was, I think, some explicit words, basically saying how he hated the refs, the Patriots, the whole 9 yards. So
yeah,
he was crushed. Like, seriously, I saw a man that just looked defeated. But I mean, this is a guy that he had seats at the games for 10, 15 years, and diehard fan. Never got to see it happen. And then he finally thought he was going to get the chance, and boom. So I think that's how a lot of Chiefs fans felt.
Yeah, that was kind of the sentiment among everybody.
Yeah.
Just because.
But I do have one thing to say for Chiefs fans, which this pains me to say as a Broncos fan.
You gonna praise Patrick Mahomes here? Because you were a little bit of a hater to start the season.
I just didn't want to be the guy that jumped the gun.
Okay.
But, yeah, he is the real deal, and Chiefs fans, if you think you're going to get through his career without at least winning 2 Super Bowls...
Oh, 2, okay.
You're sadly mistaken.
You know what this feels...
And so, like, I wish that I was wrong on this, but I just think let's look at quarterbacks the caliber of Patrick Mahomes in this league. I think you start with Tom Brady,
Drew Brees,
Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees. Let's go even a little bit in the past, Peyton Manning.
Okay.
Like, those are the guys, like, they don't have necessarily the same style of play as Mahomes, but they're both, their skill levels, I believe, are comparable. Like, when he's already kind of in his prime, let's be honest. He threw 50 touchdown passes. I mean, that's
it's an historic
season. Yeah. So
in his, not his rookie season, but his debut.
Essentially his rookie season. Yeah. I mean, like, if we're in the NBA, it's his rookie season. He wins Rookie of the Year along with the MVP. But anyways, yeah. All those guys that I just named, they at least have one Super Bowl, if not more. So that's why I think there's no way the Chiefs can get through his career without winning at least one or two.
Well, and
I mean, especially if they continue to develop a defense around him. I mean, yeah, I hate saying it. Like, I really do. Like, the fact that I think sometimes, and I'm like, oh, the Broncos got to play this guy for like 10 to 15 more years.
hopefully.
Twice a year.
Not guaranteed.
Yeah, I mean, unless something catastrophic happens for the Chiefs, like he gets traded away to the NFC or something, which I wouldn't mind. That'd be good for me. Or like, you know, he like blows up every knee, ligament, muscle.
Okay, yeah, let's not put that on the airwaves.
Oh, I'm just saying, like, unless something like that happens. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me say something, you know, about this game and kind of. It really reminds me of the Royals in that 2014 World Series where they came so close and then they lost it and then they came back the next year and they were just a lot better and then went on to really assemble a team that was fit to win the World Series. And I see the Chiefs doing that. You know, they got some work to do this offseason. They went ahead and fired Bob Sutton.
Yeah, which I think is a good move. Although, if I was them, I would have hired Rex Ryan.
Yeah, dude, I would have too. That would have been a good one.
I mean, that guy knows, he's a defensive savant. He knows what he's doing. But, you know.
But regardless, to get Bob Sutton out of there,
yeah.
That was a much needed move just to kind of calm the fan base after the loss.
I agree.
You got to go this offseason and just continue to add pieces and then come back next year and do it again. But going into this game, I don't know, what are some highlights? Did Julian Edelman touch it? No, they say no, he didn't. Then ball doesn't lie, and they go down and score a touchdown. And it was just kind of all these crazy calls and crazy plays that just made up this second half.
I believe it was Edelman that they said caught the ball, right? That one where
that was Chris Hogan.
Chris Hogan, okay.
That was Chris Hogan.
Okay, yeah, it was Chris Hogan. Yeah, so I'm not sure about that catch either.
Yeah, well,
a lot of that ball was on the ground, like.
It was a great catch. I'm just gonna give him credit for that.
It was a good catch, like
defend it better
to grab that one-handed, but then securing it, grabbing it to the ground, like.
Yeah,
I'm not sure he made that catch, but
yeah, and then
I don't know. Stuff like that happens in a football game, though. I feel like it just gets magnified so much in the playoffs, like.
Well, and the call that everyone was talking about was that roughing the passer call. That was just ridiculous, where he just kind of gave him a slap on the chest.
Like, I mean, that's not really football.
And of course, you know, when it's the Patriots, everyone freaks out about it too, just because, you know, when everyone's rooting against one team and the call goes against the Chiefs, people are going to freak out like that. But, you know, what else happened in that game? D Ford, offsides. You know, that's what I think makes this loss hurt so much for Chiefs fans. Is
they had it won.
For about 5 seconds, I believed in my heart the Chiefs were going to the Super Bowl. Like, that's what's so weird is, like, I was like, they're going to the Super Bowl. Wow, that is incredible.
Yeah.
And then it's like...
But they weren't.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
But, hey... So
how do you do that? But in D4's defense, like, if you go back and look at that picture...
Yeah,
like,
wasn't there someone with a formation that was...
Yeah, the offensive tackles lined up, like, 3 yards in the backfield. Yeah. I mean, like... So, I mean, maybe, you know, he...
Yeah, I'm not blaming
yeah, you still got to look at the ball, though, if you're D for it. And the other thing, though, is, like, the other thing that sucks is, like, that offsides had nothing to do with the play.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Like he threw it.
Made.
Yeah, he threw it. Brady threw it immediately to the other side of the field. Like, it had no bearing on the game at all. And, you know, the Chiefs got an interception, and it should have been game, but...
Well, so they take a lead, and then the magic of Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Just, he goes down. Guess. Man, they could have scored, too, though. I was wanting them to take a few shots in the end zone.
Yeah.
I like that they, Mahomes kind of in the past this season has played things a little too
aggressive,
willy-nilly, and he'll make some mistakes. So I'm glad that he played it safe, but I was like, just keep chucking it to the end zone there at the end and see if you can get a win. And so, but they tied up, go to overtime at 31-all. Both games went to overtime. A great day of football, and then complaining about the overtime rules all you want. Patriots won the toss, went down and scored. Chiefs had 3 3rd-and-10 situations.
Yeah, I mean, like, get a stop. Get a stop.
Yeah, I'm not gonna complain about the overtime rules. However flawed they are, those rules are not why the Chiefs lost the game.
But I think everybody did know. I mean, when the Patriots won the toss, they're like, okay,
you can just feel it.
Brady's winning this one.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what kind of sucks about the overtime rules.
And another just random Patriots running back, Rex Burkhead runs it in. You know it's gonna happen. It just felt exactly like the Super Bowl a couple years ago. It's just like, of course, but it's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't too crushed being a Broncos fan, but I hate the Patriots too. So this game was really a lose-lose for me. But I did as much. I felt a little bit for the Chiefs fans.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not
tough loss.
I'm not a diehard Chiefs fan, but I've been rooting for the Chiefs all season, being from Kansas, and I like the Chiefs a lot. And I was really hoping for a Chiefs Super Bowl. One, because it would have been great for the Heble and Byers Show ratings. We know you guys would have all tuned in for a Chiefs-Saints Super Bowl preview show, but we'll talk about the Super Bowl with the teams that are in it, so hopefully you guys tune in for that. But what else? Any final thoughts on this game? Anything?
All right, I got a question.
Okay.
What loss was more heartbreaking? Try and take yourself out of this.
Okay.
The Chiefs or the Saints?
Oh, Chiefs. I think the Chiefs. One, because you're just going up against such greatness, such an empire.
Yeah.
And it just to be there, to be so close to beating that empire with everybody rooting for you and then not. It just kind of. And the Saints loss was tough, but Breeze has a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I guess.
Chiefs are.
That's true.
Hey, the Saints they blew a 13-point lead. They won the coin toss. I'm not gonna put it all on that call.
That call was so bad though.
We've already. Oh, it was a terrible call.
That's got to be the worst.
It was a terrible call.
Well,
but the funny thing is if that cornerback would have just made a play on the ball, he got picked. It wasn't a well thrown ball. It wasn't a well designed play.
But I do think that if he wouldn't have hit him, it would have been a touchdown.
Well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If he wouldn't have snapped his head around and got an interception, if he would have keep doing what he was doing but didn't hit that guy, I think it would have been a touchdown, and that's why I think that dude hit him.
No, yeah, you think he did it on purpose? He knew that?
Yeah, he's oh, this is a touchdown.
I think he did too.
Yeah.
He even admitted that it was
so, I mean, the fact that they, and the refs, they're right there in front of,
Yeah, that just happens
I'd be
sometimes.
upset.
That just happens sometimes.
And
Todd Gurley just trolled everybody with his Instagram post, if you didn't see that.
Yeah, I did. These losses remind me a little bit of when I was a younger boy and cried for hours after the Raheem Moore mishap in Mile High Stadium.
Oh, you don't even know heartbreak as a fan.
Oh, I did.
You don't even know. You've experienced the Super Bowl. You've experienced 14 straight Big 12 titles. You don't even know what it's like.
I've got it pretty nice, honestly, but hey, I had to go through 2 years of Vance Joseph. I had to go through 2 years of Vance Joseph.
Wow.
So.
I had to go through Colin Klein losing to Baylor. There's no greater pain.
Yeah, well, I went to a Final Four last year just to see KU get mauled by 20.
Yeah, well, Villanova.
So, you want to talk about bad, when I go to a Final Four game, drop that kind of money, and then Villanova hits 16 threes in the first half,
Oh, man. That was a shame,
that's what's terrible.
That was a shame, wasn't it?
It was a shame.
Well, okay, KU's struggling this year, so you might have a little more sadness as a fan. You deserve it. You deserve it.
We'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Okay, we'll probably talk about that later.
All right.
So let's do a Super Bowl preview real quick. We'll give you our predictions, our picks. Patriots, Rams. Ugh, lame. It's not lame. It's just not the teams I wanted, but it'll be.
It is kind of lame. Let's get Tom Brady out of this thing. Wrap it up. He says he's playing till 45. I don't know if I can do it.
Him playing till 45?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's kind of what people feel about LeBron. it's like, oh, we got to deal with
Although,
the finals.
if LeBron's son was able to get to the NBA, that'd be pretty cool, actually.
That'd be cool. Okay, so lame Super Bowl, but it'll be a good game most likely.
I'm taking the Rams, Byers.
Okay, you're taking the Rams.
Taking the Rams.
Why? Just a more complete team.
Like, I get it. Belichick is a GOAT, but here's Sean McVay is going to dethrone him.
Uh-oh. You're
and a new empire is rising.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know if it's going to be the level of the Patriots. I mean, we've really never seen that before. But Sean McVay, crazy good coach. I think he's only person in the league that can prepare his team like Bill Belichick can. And so I'm going with the Rams, not only because of that, because they've got great pieces all throughout their defense. I mean, guys that will make plays all over the place. And then if you go to the offensive side of the ball, they got Todd Gurley and C.J. Anderson, which has been a great 1-2 punch of late. I mean, the running games looked great. Jared Goff's playing well, and their offense has been one of the best in the league all year. So
yeah, and you said that they got playmakers on the defensive end.
Yeah, and the other thing is
all over the place, so.
Last week, I understand that Brady gets the ball out so fast, but the Chiefs didn't get any pressure on him really throughout the entire game, and I think that's something that the Rams will do. Like, everybody's scared of blitzing Brady because he's been a great quarterback against a blitz like in the past couple of years, but this year he actually rated last in the league against the blitz. So why Bob Sutton was scared of blitzing him?
That was the biggest.
I'm not really sure, but like
problem with the Chiefs defense.
I think Wade Phillips is going to get after him. He did it with the Broncos just 2 years ago. I mean, all over Brady.
Yeah.
I mean, the defense won him the game, and that with the Broncos. So I mean, I think if he can scheme up a game plan to shut him down, I really do think the Rams can win.
Okay, so you're going.
It's not going to be a blowout. I mean, it's going to be a.
Sorry about that technical difficulty as we figure out this new format, but Blake.
That's what happens, man.
Yeah, I know. This what happens. We're just a two-man crew here. But Blake, I left off. Give us a score for this game. You got the Rams. What do you think what the score is going to be?
28-24 Rams.
Okay. I could see that happening. I'm going to be rooting for the Rams, probably.
Yeah.
I think that they could win.
I know where this is going.
I'm going to go the Patriots.
Yeah.
Well, reason number one, just to be different from you. I don't know. That's lame.
Yeah, but...
And reason number two, man, this just feels like a nightmare, you know? It just feels like it's going to happen.
It does.
Like, everyone, Patriots are done. Oh, they beat, probably the best team in the league all year, Kansas City Chiefs.
How corny is this?
Oh, when they try to play
Tom Brady thing where he's playing like he's the underdog. Dude, nobody thought you were the underdog. Like,
that's ridiculous. They need to stop
but
that.
Whatever.
I hate to say it, I'm going to go Patriots.
I just couldn't do it.
It's going to be close, though. Like, it's going to be another one of those just stupid wins. Like, I think it'll be a field goal. Like, 41-38.
Oh.
Like, I think it's going to be high scoring.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know. I just feel like it's going to be one of those crazy games, some defensive touchdowns.
Yeah. All right.
Some crazy things are going to happen.
I'd like to see that, honestly.
Like I don't think it's going to be high scoring because of bad defense. I just think that it's just going to be one of those games where it'll be another all-time Super Bowl.
I just want to see a good game.
The Patriots will win it by 3 points, 41-38.
I just want to see a good game. So.
Yeah, no, I want to see a good game too. Hopefully we get some good commercials too, man.
Yeah.
That's half the fun.
Yeah.
That's half the
fun. Who's doing the
fun.
halftime show? I don't even know.
Maroon 5.
Adam Levine?
Isn't 21 Savage making a guest appearance?
I don't know, man.
I
think he is because the rap community's mad at him.
Okay.
Because that means he's like supporting the NFL or whatnot, and they're all for Colin Kaepernick.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, he likes football. What can you say?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Listen, we like football. We're not getting into politics here. We like watching football.
Yeah.
That's what we do. We're
American. All right. Let's shift out of this. I think we covered that pretty well.
Yep.
NBA, let's talk about it.
Okay, yeah. Should we just talk about the Anthony Davis trade a little bit?
Yeah, we can talk about that.
That was kind of the big news, I guess, now 2 days ago. He was fined, actually. Did you see that?
Yeah, but, like, I saw it was, like...
$50,000.
Not even, like, 1% of his contract or something like that.
That's no big deal, but, yeah, what do you want to talk about the NBA? The Warriors are kind of finding...
Oh, they are hitting the stride, man.
LeBron is still out with that injury.
And the Lakers are sitting at the 9 spot right now. Yeah. So, currently they're out of the playoffs. They could drop a couple more games. They're only half a game ahead of Sacramento right now. So, I mean, I guess we'll see. Like,
Lakers are making the playoffs.
They're sitting right at 500.
I'm not even worried. LeBron.
No, I mean, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, they're going to make the playoffs, but it could be at a 7 or 8. Yeah, I don't see them getting all the way up to 6. I don't see them catching that many games in that span.
We'll see what happens with an Anthony Davis trade. Here and then.
Yeah, we'll see if it happens, but I'm telling you, like, if they're at the 8 spot and they have to play Golden State in the first round,
doesn't it just seem like ripe for an upset though, Blake?
No, it doesn't. No? Golden State's playing so well. I've watched all but one game so far with DeMarcus Cousins, and even in those games that he's scoring, like, not even just a little over double figures, like, he makes his team better, and they were already really good. I mean, I don't see how you stop them. I literally saw them throw it in the paint to DeMarcus Cousins. They tried to double him and left Kevin Durant wide open from 3.
Yeah, there's just no way to defend them.
Exactly. I mean, and if you leave Boogie one-on-one in the paint, he'll score on you every time.
I'm not saying that, like, any team in the NBA is better than the Warriors. I'm not saying that on paper or even on the court, but I just think, listen, 7-game series, you put them on the floor, you know, steal a game here and there, and all of a sudden, Draymond, KD fighting a little bit in the locker room. People don't get theirs. I've seen some breaks in the armor there a little bit.
I haven't. I mean, they've won 11 straight.
Well, Blake, when KD and Draymond were
fighting,
but I
think
that
they're
doesn't
past
worry
that,
you a little
man.
bit?
No. It doesn't worry me at all.
It worries me a little bit.
They're past that.
And they had some troubles last year, too.
And right now, they're the best team in the league by a wide margin. I mean...
Well, yeah, cool. They got 5 All-Stars.
They're blowing out everybody they play.
That doesn't mean they're not beatable. Like, I'm just tired of... Look at Alabama. We said all year, Alabama's going to win the national championship. Alabama's going to win the national championship. They're unbeatable. And then Clemson beats them, and then Clemson blows them out.
Yeah, but I don't think there's... It's not the same.
It's the NBA.
You can't compare it like that.
It's the NBA. Everybody's a professional basketball
player. I get that, but you're playing 7 games.
Yeah.
You're not just playing 1 game. I'm not saying that the Clemson game is a fluke, but I'm saying, like, 7 games where you've got 5 All-Stars on the court at the same time. That's hard to beat, man.
It's possible. I'm just saying it's possible. Everyone's saying that they're a lock, and I don't know, guys.
I think they are, because I don't see LeBron making it past... I mean...
Yeah, it'll depend on their seeding.
I mean... If they do get to the Western Conference Finals, which I don't see that happening, but if they do, like, I don't see them beating Golden State. And then what do we got coming out of the East? Milwaukee's the 1, Toronto the 2, Indiana's going to drop, but they're the 3 currently. Mm-hmm. I mean, because Oladipo got hurt, poor guy. And Philly's the 4, Boston's the 5. I mean, they're not playing well.
Boston's struggling this year. Kind of makes you think Kyrie's going to go to the Lakers or Knicks.
I'd still give Kyrie a max deal if I'm them.
No, I mean...
Give him the super max, keep him in Boston.
Yeah,
he's a legit guy. But, I mean, I don't see anybody coming necessarily out of the East that could beat him.
Okay, well, we gotta keep this show moving. We're kind of going a little over time here.
Well, I'm sorry, but...
No, that's kind of how it goes here. We always tend to go over. Well, we're going to talk a little college sports.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just touch on college football, and
yes, sir.
I mean, we're not going to talk about the national championship. That's old news. You guys already know. But let's talk about kind of the transfer craziness, and then also we could touch on Kyler Murray declaring for the draft. Okay. So talk about college football transfers, Justin Fields, Tate Martell, that kind of saga that's been going on. Jalen Hurts to Oklahoma.
So
what are your thoughts?
We'll start with Justin Fields, Tate Martell, because people might not know them as well as.
Yeah. Okay.
Justin Fields, I think he was the #1 dual threat quarterback coming out of high school. Went and...
He was the 1 and Trevor Lawrence was the 2.
Yeah, exactly. Sat behind Jake Fromm.
Maybe it's the other way around, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was.
Okay.
But either way. But he was #1 dual threat, I believe.
Okay.
Anyways, sat behind Jake Fromm, Georgia, a couple years. He's like, alright, screw this. And he wanted to go get some playing time. Transferred to Ohio State, which is a big-time program. But who was there is Tate Martell, another top guy.
Isn't that the guy from that QB show everybody watches?
Yeah, he played out in California at Bishop Gorman. Big-time high school football program. I mean, big time.
Yeah.
Star there for years, put up record-breaking numbers. He was like one of the top quarterbacks in the class. He went there, and then he's got to sit behind guys like J.T. Barrett.
Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah, Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah.
I don't know why I couldn't. And so when when Justin Fields comes, he's like, okay, not again.
Yeah, no.
And so he transferred out of there.
He's going to Miami.
He'll
have to sit out a year. Does Justin Fields have to sit out? Because I think there's a way that he
I don't think so, but I don't know the specifics on it.
Yeah, I'm not an expert, but I know Tate Martell's got to sit out till 2020 for Miami. But
yeah.
What are your O's?
And then we got to talk about Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts. Let's touch on Jalen Hurts. He's going to Oklahoma.
He's
eligible to play. He's a grad transfer, so he's going to be starting right away. I would assume.
Yeah, but they did bring in Spencer Rattler, which I don't think he's going to. I don't think he'll start over him, honestly. And if that's the case, they might as well maybe redshirt him. Do you think?
Who?
Spencer Rattler?
Yeah, I would assume that they probably would.
We'll do that.
Well, and he can play in 4 games.
Yeah, so I mean they can test the waters, which I do like that new rule.
Yeah, that's a good rule.
So, yeah, I mean, Oklahoma kind of got a good deal. They're going to have a great quarterback for the 3rd year in a row. Because from what I saw from Jalen Hurts this year at Alabama, he improved.
No, I think he did.
He was already a good quarterback, but I think he did improve a little bit. And, yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, Oklahoma's, they got a top 5 recruiting class again this year, so...
Do you like that everybody is transferring this much? Because, I don't know.
We didn't even talk about Kelly Bryant. I mean, I guess that was kind of...
That's old news.
Old news,
He's
yeah.
He's going to
Missouri, yeah.
Alex Dillon, he's going to TCU, which...
Yeah.
I think it's just... I mean, come on, dude. In the Big 12, really?
Yeah. Well,
I
don't get it because... Is he really going to play at TCU?
Yeah, dude.
You think?
Yeah. Sean Robinson, he transferred out of TCU. They don't got a quarterback. Alex Dillon's going to start, and he's going to come to Bill Snyder Family Stadium.
I hope he just routes you guys.
I hope that Skylar Thompson proves that this
God. I hope that he just comes...
I love Alex Dillon. I don't want to talk crap.
Destroys K-State at home.
Why? We've given that dude everything.
That'd be awesome.
Bill Snyder gave that dude everything.
Honestly, though, what I was hoping is he'd be like, all right, I'll forget the D1. Let's go play at Fort Hays.
That'd be lit.
That'd be awesome because he would ball on some fools. But
well, clearly he wouldn't have gone to TCU if they're not telling him that he's going to start.
I mean, I guess, yeah. Well, he originally transferred to UTSA, right?
UTEP.
UTEP, yeah, that's what it was. That was his original...
Dan
Dimmels.
Yeah.
Okay, he's there now.
So.
But anyways, yeah.
But I just don't know. It annoys me a little bit that he's transferring here, and now, he's got competition, he's transferring. Not that I disagree with Tate Martell's decision to transfer, but Justin Fields really go down.
Yeah, but I mean, you gotta look at it these guys are trying to make it to the NFL, and if they're not able to show themselves and prove themselves, then,
Yeah, I know. It just bugs me a little bit.
I get it.
We got to move on here because we're trying to get a guest here in a few minutes.
Big 12 race?
Yes, college basketball. We got some questions on it too later, but let's just... It is crazy right now. KU lost to Texas last night.
Yeah, God. And I called it, did I not?
Did you?
I said they were going to lose. I think I even talked about it on Hawks with Heble. Guys, listen. They always do this.
Do they always do it this badly?
What? No, I'm not.
What are you saying?
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Both of those things,
Okay.
So, KU plays terrible in empty stadiums.
KU K-State's the same way.
Right, so like they go to play like a team that's maybe not as talented as them, which we even had trouble with Texas at home. So I'm not saying that Texas is a bad team.
Texas is a pretty good team if they get hot.
Yeah, I'm just saying like, I don't know if you saw the video, but like 5 minutes before tip-off, there's like 3 dudes in the stadium. Like there's nobody there, just completely empty, and like KU always plays horrible in these games. The other thing is like LeGerald Vick didn't start. For some reason unknown, I'm sure he showed up late to shoot around or didn't come to a practice or he's always in Bill Self's doghouse. But the redshirt freshman Ochai Abachi starts for him, scores 24 points. That's about the only good thing that you can see from this game. There's no leadership on this team, Byers. From what I've seen, I mean, it's a bunch of guys that look lost right now.
God, this makes me so happy that KU is struggling. Oh, you guys deserve all
They're struggling.
pain.
With all that said, I still don't think they're going to lose the Big 12.
Wrong,
I still don't see it. You're telling me that K-State's not going to drop a game like that, and then KU and K-State split, then they at least get a share. That's what I'm saying. Like they're at least getting a share of this Big 12 title.
We'll see. Listen, I talked about it on
Do you really think K-State's going to sweep KU?
No, I think we're going to at least split.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
KU and K-State split. We lose at Bramlage, we win at home.
Okay. What if you guys lose Saturday against Texas Tech and then in Bramlage on Tuesday?
At home?
Well,
you think?
Yes. Allen Fieldhouse has shown some weaknesses this year. Like Texas,
they haven't lost at home.
I know, but I'm just saying it's possible.
Or on neutral, like.
Listen.
That's the thing with all the games they've lost. They are terrible on the road.
Let me talk Bruce here.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, because I talked about it in Catch with Carson. We played terrible Saturday.
Yeah.
This K-State team's not perfect, but I tell you what, when they play good, they are very scary. And I tell you what,
to a degree. I mean, very scary. We're not talking like top team.
We held top 15 Texas Tech to 45 points.
Yeah,
We're the best defensive team in the Big 12, and
like Texas Tech hasn't been able to score of late at all.
Okay.
So it's not just you guys, but
whatever.
Continue.
Okay, I will. I just don't think that KU is going to do it this year, guys. I don't want to say it. I'm not going to say it because then I'm going to be wrong and I'm just going to be sad. But I think, like David Alvin, he tweeted something about last night that
Why do you keep getting your hopes up? Like
KU is going to win with a 10-8 record. Cause, like, you know what? As sports fans, we got to have hope sometimes. That's what we're dealt with. When we don't win every year, sports fans, they have to have hope. You guys know what I'm saying. You guys know what I'm saying. Like, Blake doesn't get it, but
I don't, because it's like, come on,
if it's not going to be K-State, I think it's going to be Iowa State or Texas Tech. I don't know about Baylor. I'm not sold on Baylor. I'm not really sold on Texas Tech either. So if anyone's going to do it, I think it's going to be Bruce. So K-State fans, despite the loss to Texas Tech, or Texas A&M, we are in great position right now with a game on KU, kind of a game on KU. We still got to play our.
Who you play next?
We play at Oklahoma State. Huge game on the road, so we got to play well there.
Which I could see you guys going down there and dropping that one too.
I don't see it. Anyways.
Yeah. The Big 12 this year is kind of a crapshoot. Which is why I think the team with the most talent, being KU, can still come out with at least a share. With at least a share. They definitely have more talent.
Maybe.
They do. If they ever, and the other thing is if they ever get DeSosa back, I think for sure they win.
Okay.
But
guys, listen, and
that's the other thing. Like, I'm typing up an article right now that I'm gonna put on my website, but Sylvia DeSosa is getting screwed right now. He should be playing. Listen,
I don't know, bro.
He got $2,500, right? Which is minute. I mean, that is
a lot of money.
No.
We could use it on this show with our.
That is tiny.
We can use that money if you
amounts of cash, and that money was to pay for college courses, online college courses, right? So like, it's not like he's out there buying crack, slinging dope. Like, no, he's like getting it for good purposes, and he repaid that entire $2,500 plus has sat out 20 games.
Okay.
Why is he not reinstated? Like, why is he not playing? That is ridiculous. Like, that is so ridiculous.
Break the rules.
And a guy that, like, is like a pretty talented dude. We saw him play, like, crazy good in the Big 12 tournament last year. I mean, as far as, look at it, like, he provides athleticism, you know, maybe a little post offense, rebounding, and another energy guy, like, all these things that KU needs. I think it could help boost the team just because right now they just look like they don't even want to be there.
Well, let's hope as the rest of the
I haven't been able to watch the past 2 games because I was at confirmation on Saturday and then I was playing a game last night while they were playing. So, I mean, I haven't been able to see them, but everything I've seen, heard, it's like they just look like they're asleep. Nobody wants to be there.
Yeah.
But
I'm telling you, K-State, next Tuesday in Bramlage, it is going to be a sight to see when we just absolutely humiliate KU.
And Carson, I wouldn't even be surprised if it happened. But
I just jinxed the heck out of it.
But I don't think.
We're so screwed now.
But I don't think that means KU loses the Big 12 race. I mean, like, I think we can. I mean, you have the right if you're a KU fan to like press the panic button a little bit, but like
smash it.
But we're not smashing it yet. Okay?
Okay.
We're not smashing it yet.
Okay, well...
We gotta learn how to win on the road, and if they do, they'll win the Big 12 title.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll see.
We'll see. The Big 12, yeah, it's a mess right now, and I don't know who's gonna win it, honestly, and hopefully it's K-State, but they've broken my heart many times before. We are gonna take a quick break here as we get into some fan questions, and we might get an interview here. Alright guys, we're about to get an awesome guest who's going to call in here from the Austin, Texas airport.
Yes, sir.
He's the voice of the Kansas Jayhawks, the director of broadcasting at Kansas University, Brian Hanni. Blake, anything you want to say?
Man, pulled some strings, what can I say?
Blake, yeah.
Big time guest, we're excited to interview him, get his thoughts, you know.
It's going to be awesome.
Pick his brain a little bit, see what he's got to think about the Big 12 title situation and maybe a little Les Miles, and we'll see.
Yeah, and like I said, he's in the Austin, Texas airport because he was on the job last night when KU lost to Texas, so it'll be a lot of fun. Here it is.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, no problem, man. Happy to do it. Wish it was under different circumstances.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for calling in. This is Carson here. We'll just start off asking you about your career as a broadcaster. How did you end up getting into broadcasting? Then how did you end up at KU?
Well, I think like a lot of kids, I grew up wanting to be a college basketball player at KU, and I grew up in the Michael Jordan era, so I was, in my mind, going to be the guard that the Bulls drafted to come on to the twilight era of his career and play alongside him, right?
Yeah.
So grew up living the dream, you know, acting out the Final Four game-winning shot in my driveway and imagining how Bob Davis would call it. And then realized when I was about 15 years old that I was a pretty scrawny kid with a limited vertical leap, and the NBA lottery pick option was probably not in my future. So when I was 14 or 15, I started practicing calling games on the TV, and then specifically did it with my Nintendo. And I know you guys play like PS4 and stuff like that now, but back then we had an 8-bit Nintendo, and I would set the RBI baseball video game on computer mode and turn the volume down, and then practice calling what I saw. And I was really fortunate back in the late 1990s. High school that I went to in Topeka West, happened to be the only school in town that had a TV productions department that was able to do live broadcasting, or at least tape delayed broadcasting on a local public access TV station. I went to the instructor and said, have we ever thought about doing sports? Because I'd love to try and help pioneer the sports program. And so for my last couple of years, I had a chance to play-by-play at my high school that I'm sure nobody outside of my mom and grandpa were watching, but it gave me the experience to get noticed by a couple of the stations locally. And by the time I was a senior, I was doing stuff on KMHA in Topeka, and then kind of got fast-tracked when I got to Lawrence. I got plugged in with Tom Hedrick, who literally authored the book, The Art of Sportscasting. And he had me working 3 jobs my first semester as a high school or a college freshman. And I don't regret it one bit. I may have missed out on some of the social life aspects of a young college student, but I had the right people come into my life at the right time to really put me on a path to get to where I'm at today. And it all started, with that realization of you're not going to be a pro athlete, so what can you do to stay close to the game and find a different path to finding a career in sports? And that's kind of how it all came about.
That's a great story.
That's awesome.
I've got a friend here, Carson. He's actually thinking about going into broadcasting. He does a little bit of it himself. He covers our high school games, actually. He does the broadcasting for our games. I just didn't know if you had any tips for him, maybe, going into the future.
I think the best thing that I would offer as advice to young guys is that it's okay to try to emulate your call and your style after your favorite announcers, but don't become the same exact version of them or 2.0 or whatever. I tried to do that when I was growing up, and I sounded a lot like Marv Albert. And according to my professor, it's Marv Albert and Chris Berman, because I would use the funny nicknames that Berman would use on NFL primetime. And I had some diction and delivery that sounded like Marv Albert, and that was fine. It's what I had to go off of, but he really challenged me to be my own man and use my own voice and all of that. And so it's okay to emulate certain aspects of it, but try to find your own voice and try to be the best version of you. But beyond that, the best advice I could give anybody, whether you want to be a broadcaster or a sports writer or any career in any field, is be ambitious and take initiative and seek out those internships even when you're 16 years old. Some schools or businesses won't be able to hire you until you're 18 and in college, but others might give you a chance even on an entry level of helping out, making photocopies or being a researcher or something like that around the station. And next thing you know, you're making the inroads to eventually work your way into a more prominent role. I love to give opportunities to the ambitious kids that aren't intimidated by just walking right up and asking for it, and also are humble enough to accept any role. There's no job that's too small or anything like that. Having zero ego but a ton of ambition will get you far, because like a lot of kids nowadays expect to just show up and immediately be put on air. It's not the way it works. So you got to be hungry. You got to absolutely get after it, but also be willing to accept any role they throw at you, and always be reliable and dependable, because you never know when the regular guy or gal can't do there and they're going to call on a fill-in. And in that instance, you got to be ready and willing to say, yeah, I'll take it. Because if you say no, or I'd rather go to this party tonight, they aren't going to call you a second time. And so just always being at the ready and willing to take on anything will help you climb that ladder fast.
All right, that's awesome. Thanks there. Well, let's talk a little sports with you. I want to get your opinions on some things. The Big 12 race is kind of going on right now. A little bit of craziness. KU's struggling a little bit. What are your thoughts on this Big 12 race?
Well, it's pretty incredible that it's shaping up to be a 5-horse race, and two of the teams that are not in that top 5 right now, Oklahoma and TCU, were both ranked just a couple of weeks ago, and Texas is also in the second tier, and yet we saw what they were capable of when they beat Kansas earlier this week. So, the fact that you've got Baylor, Texas Tech, Kansas State, Iowa State all nipping at the heels, and in some cases ahead of Kansas right now, really speaks to just how tough this league is and how vastly talented all these teams and coaching staffs are. I think for Kansas, for the Jayhawk fans that are really worried right now about this team being 1-5 on the road, I understand the concern, but I do still believe we've got the best coach in the conference. I do still have great hope that Silvio De Sosa is going to get eligible soon. And I think that's going to change a lot when it does. Not that he's some kind of savior by any means, but he helps fill a void that is our biggest, most glaring weakness right now. That's having another big body next to Dietrich. There's not so much asked of him, not so much on his plate. And I do think that's going to help. And I think that our young players will grow up a bit, but there's zero margin for error with the losses that we've seen in Morgantown and in Austin most recently. And so you're going to have to protect that home floor better than you ever have. Go 8-1 or 9-0 at home, and then find a way now to win in places like Manhattan or Lubbock. You certainly have to win in Norman and Fort Worth. That goes without saying. So for Kansas, I think that there's going to be enough cannibalism in that top tier, those 5 teams beating up and eating up on each other, that you're going to still have some help. It might be a year where 12-6 wins the league and it's a 3-way tie. It's one of those years. But in order to get to 12-13 wins, boy, you better get 8 or 9 of them at home, and then find a way to conquer these road demons that have played Kansas throughout the year. Never would have thought we'd be looking at a 1-5 team like this on the road when they started so well in the neutral courts, beating teams like Michigan State and Tennessee on neutral courts. But it just really goes to show you the loss of Azubuike and how this is a 9-0 team when he plays and a 7-5 team when he doesn't. Yeah, that's where I'm really hopeful we're getting Silvio back there soon.
Yeah, like you said, I think Silvio would make a big difference on this team. He'd not only provide energy, but some athleticism in the post, and like you said, just another big guy eating up some space in the paint. But if you were to guess one team that has the best chance of knocking off KU, who would you go with right now?
I think it's K-State, and I'm pretty solid in that. I think Iowa State is next on the list, and obviously Texas Tech looked really good the other day in housing TCU there in Lubbock. But to me, K-State just has so many veterans. They have so much that KU doesn't have when it comes to experience and the guys that played together for 3 and 4 seasons. Jayhawks, largely have been exposed because what we thought the biggest strength would be, the interior, has been decimated by injury and Silvio's eligibility status, and that's forced the guards, which are your most inexperienced group, 2 freshman starters, Dawson Grimes, now a 3rd freshman starter in Abaji, Marcus Garrett, a sophomore starter. We knew that might be the case. They'd have to play big minutes, but we didn't think that so much would be asked of them because we thought this would be an interior-built team that played inside out and went through its bigs and all of that. But now these guys are being asked to take on even more of a scoring load. And that's why I think you've seen some inconsistencies and offensive struggles because you don't have Malik and Steve and Devontae back there. You got guys that were in high school a year ago. So while they can grow up a little bit, they can only improve so much within one season. And that's where they're getting some more help in the post for Diedrich in the form of DeSosa will really go a long ways. And I'm still optimistic that's going to happen very, very soon.
Yeah, I'm still optimistic on the season too. Kind of shifting away from basketball, we'd like to ask you a little bit on your thoughts on Les Miles.
Yeah, I'm super excited about Coach Miles, and I'm even more enthused with the types of assistants and coordinators that he's brought in around him. I've had a chance to interview most of them by now, and some features you can check out on KUathletics.com, and I'm just so impressed with the caliber of coaches, their resume, their personality, their charisma. It's going to help you on the recruiting trail. His name obviously carries so much credibility, weight, and respect, and that's why he's able to land such great coaches around him. But even with the unfortunate setback of losing your offensive coordinator, Chip Lindsey, who takes the head coaching job in Troy, I think he rounded well at getting Coach Kenning, and look at the former SEC offensive coordinator and everything that he's done, places he's been, and it certainly fits the pedigree of these other coaches he's hired. So I'm excited, looking forward to talking with Coach a lot more here in the next week or so as we have signing day specials next week, and a lot to look forward to in both TV and radio in looking at his first recruiting class. But, what more can you ask for than a guy that averaged over 10 wins a season in the SEC, won a national championship, and by the way, has been a winner in the Big 12 Conference as well in Oklahoma State. So a lot to like there for sure.
Yeah. Well, we'll just wrap this up here. Brian, thanks for coming on. I appreciate the love there for K-State basketball. But last thing before we let you go, could we get a quick Super Bowl pick? Who you got in Rams or Patriots?
Man, I'm going to go, and this is not a popular choice because America's cheering against him at this point after 9 trips in 17 years, but I think the Belichick-Brady combination proved a lot in Kansas City that, you give him a chance to prepare, and he can take away a lot of what teams do really well. The fact that the Chiefs mustered just 32 first-half yards, and yes, they had 31 second-half points, but the genius of Belichick was on display there in making it a 2-quarter game instead of a 4-quarter game of Patrick Mahomes' brilliance. And I think he'll have something similar up his sleeve for Coach McVay's team. But I'm super impressed with the Rams, too. Just give me the experience of Brady and Belichick and the motivation after coming up short last year. This may be their swan song, and I think it's going to happen. New England edges the Rams on Sunday.
Awesome.
All right, well, thank you very much, Brian, for coming on. We appreciate it. We loved your insight, and rock chalk.
Well, thanks for having me. Thanks for putting up with the Austin Airport overhead PA announcer here. I know it's not an ideal condition to do the interview, but I appreciate you bearing with me, and certainly appreciate your coverage of KU and your support of the Jayhawks. So you guys have a great week, and rock chalk.
All right, thank you.
All right, welcome back here. After that awesome interview.
That was sweet.
Yeah, that was really nice of him to stop by
Yep.
and talk to us a little bit. But we got a little bit of show left here. We are going to take your guys' questions. We'll just take a few here. We're in a bit of a hurry. So let's start with, this is from Chris Mullen. Is Anthony Davis to the Lakers a bad move for the league as in general? And are there too many super teams? What do you think?
At this point in the NBA, I don't believe Anthony Davis to the Lakers would be a bad thing. Just because the way the league is built right now, I mean...
You got to do what you got to do.
You've got to do what you have... I mean, that's what you have to do to compete, is create super teams.
Yeah.
Now, if it was a couple years back, before the Warriors dynasty, and... I mean... It's kind of like when LeBron, D. Wade, and Chris Bosh all got together. Everybody was kind of like, we're gonna, because that was kind of the first, big time, big three super team, and at that point, people were kind of worried that there won't be any competition. But I mean, I think that's kind of out of the window because that's what this NBA is. I mean, so I don't think it's necessarily bad for the league. Myself, though, I'm not a fan of the super team. I'd kind of like to see us transition out of that, But for the league right now, I think it wouldn't be too bad because it provides some competition for teams like the Warriors,
Yeah.
So.
I don't think there's such thing as too many super teams, I mean, the more the better, in my opinion. The more competition between the best athletes, in the world at one time. That's fun to me, and it's fun to see teams and superstars recruit players pretty much and try to build their best teams. We've seen players become more and more like GMs over the years, kind of making moves for their team and for their market. But
the problem I have with it is just you get through top 3 teams on both sides of the conference, and then it's just
yeah.
The rest of the way down, there's not a lot of...
Well, I mean, what's more entertaining as a sports fan? To have a conference like the Big 12 in college basketball where it's really even throughout, or a conference that's got 3 really good teams and they're kind of duking it out.
I mean, I suppose it could be preference.
I think it's more fun to watch those 3 teams duke it out.
Yeah.
But quick thoughts on the trade about who they should give up is I would do everything in my power if I'm the Lakers to not give up all 3 of those guys. I wouldn't give up Lonzo, Kuzma, and Brandon Ingram. I mean, I probably would, but I'd do everything in my power not to. I would for sure trade Ingram. Of course, he had 36 points last night, but I think I would trade Ingram for sure, and then probably one Lonzo or Kuzma. But I wouldn't give up all 3. And you'll throw in Hart and Zubac and some picks. And
I think for LA to have a shot at it, they're going to have to give up Kuzma and Ingram, at least. Yeah. Probably some picks and
you're gonna have to
and some other guys like a Josh Hart but I mean, I just don't see him keeping on to more than one of that 3 core young group that you just named, Kuzma, Ingram, and Lonzo Ball. I think they have to give up at least 2, and I think at least 2 would have to be Ingram and Kuzma. If somehow they were to keep on with Kuzma, they would have to give a lot outside of that, because I think Kuzma is the only guy that I see that could turn into a perennial all-star caliber player. I think Brandon Ingram, his career trajectory, to me, I think he's going to hover borderline all-star player.
And I don't think he fits well with
LeBron. Me either. And I don't know. I've been impressed with Kyle Kuzma in his young career. So, but I think they'll have to give him up.
Yeah, let's move on here. We got to go through some of these a little bit quicker. The combative relationship. This is from Lori Dink. She's asking about us. The combative relationship of the Heble and Byers podcast is half the fun. When did you become friends/rivals? Well, I'm glad she views us as rivals.
Yeah.
Because I guess we kind of come
that
across
is a good thing.
I don't know. We just grew up
honestly,
in the same small town.
I don't really remember when we started hanging out, but just been friends since we were little, and I think the rivalry just kind of started its roots in the KU K-State.
Yeah, we don't share a favorite team. really anywhere.
No.
You don't like LeBron. You don't like, I mean.
Yeah, so like we just have
differ.
very different sports ideas and we support different teams but I think mainly it's KU, K-State. That's how the rivalry, at least in sports topics, started. So.
Okay, well. Next question kind of comes from Cade Schneider here. He talked about the Big 12 race, but since we've kind of covered that pretty extensively, I'm going to take just a little snippet of his question. And he talked about it. Is this KU team the worst in the Self era? Blake, I'll let you kind of really take this because you probably are a little bit more knowledgeable.
Honestly, they're playing like the worst team in the Self era. Really, that I can. I remember watching.
I think they are.
They're playing. The problem is, they've got so many young guys, they don't have any shooting. They've got depth issues in the front court now with Udoka going down, Sylvia DeSouza ineligible. So, I guess it's a team that everybody thought at the beginning of the year was Self's best team.
Like you.
Which has turned out to be Self's worst team. Which, it's unfortunate, a lot of things that have happened to make it like that. Quentin Grimes isn't near the player that people projected him to be.
Azubuike, I'll give you guys
Azubuike getting hurt, DeSouza ineligible, Gerald Vicks hit and miss. So, they probably are. Yeah. But they still have a chance to turn things around, I think.
I know, I hate to say it, but they probably will because it's just KU and they do that all the time. But yeah, right now, the way they played, especially last night against Texas and then, Kentucky, they didn't look too good either. I think that they probably are, which I guess speaks to Bill Self's greatness. As much as I hate to say it, considering what are they, 16? Are they 16-5? Is that their record right now?
4.
It's okay.
Or
I think they're 5.
5 now after last night. Yeah.
Yeah. So 16-5 or whatever they are, and it's like their worst team, in the last decade and a half. So, yeah, that's what we will say about that. Moving on here, we got 2 more questions, both from Conrad Peterson. First one, I know this could probably be a long debate, but let's try to not go too long on it here. He asked Devontae Graham or Jacob Pullen. Let me start here. Jacob Pullen is better than Devontae Graham, and I think the better question would have been Jacob Pullen and Frank Mason.
And I definitely take Frank Mason.
I would still take Jacob Pullen.
That's not plausible.
Yeah, it is.
No.
19 and 20 is his junior and senior year.
I don't care. And Frank Mason's National Player of the Year on every major media outlet. I think he averaged close to 20, just like Jacob Pullen.
I looked at
He was a leader of a great KU team his senior year that just came up just short of making the Final Four. So, I think Frank Mason.
Okay, but do we agree Jacob Pullen's better than Devontae Graham? Come on, Blake. Are you serious?
No,
that's not even close.
I get it. He probably is. But,
greatness, Jacob Pullen.
Yeah, okay. I understand that, but I just love Devontae, so I'm not gonna speak down on my man.
Okay, well, yeah.
Jacob Pullen's probably better than Devontae Graham, but I'm not taking him over Frank Mason.
Okay, well, last question, a little bit of a fun one. What's your go-to order at Buffalo Wild Wings? I'm a big fan of Buffalo Wild Wings. Blake, are you? Do you like it? You don't, do you?
Here's the deal.
Ugh.
Overpriced. Let's just compare prices between,
all
Applebee's.
restaurants are overpriced.
Applebee's, I can get, the same quantity for, $5 less, easy,
Not
and plus you get more sauce.
Whatever, dude.
But, I'm not saying Buffalo Wild Wings is bad. I'm not saying it's bad. It's loud, and it's annoying.
Blake, it's a sports bar.
Yeah,
you go there to watch games,
but it's
to have a
they turn the TVs on to where it's 20 decibels way too high. You don't care to hear what the lacrosse between Cornell and Duke is. I don't care. Sometimes they have pointless, meaningless games on that are blasting, and I don't want to hear it. I just want to eat.
Okay, well, what is your
and
order?
Watch.
What wings do you get?
Honey barbecue, boneless.
Okay, boneless wings. First off,
I get it.
Listen, boneless wings are good. I'm not going to say they're not good, and if you eat them, that's fine. But they're not wings. They're chicken nuggets with sauce, and we glorify them like wings.
I agree.
And I hate to see them replacing traditional wings every year.
Yeah.
They get.
To me, it's just
not
necessarily that they taste better. It's just
they're easier.
They're easier to eat.
I'll give you that.
So
I get traditional wings with just the medium buffalo sauce. I like buffalo sauce. Some people hate on buffalo sauce, but I don't understand the.
I'm not a big buffalo sauce guy. All right, but ranch or blue cheese?
Ranch.
I agree.
100%.
All right,
At
least we can agree there.
Yeah, we can. Okay, that'll be it for this first edition of this kind of
Heble Byers Show.
Yeah, it's the debut, the triumphant debut of the Heble Byers Show.
Next week, please send in questions. You can go on our website and submit questions under the Q&A tab, or you can tweet us with the hashtag #AskHebleByers. We need more questions each week, so we want that. Spread the word, retweet our show. Once again, we want to thank Brian Hanni for coming on.
Yes,
if he ever hears this, I'd like to thank him for coming on because we enjoyed that session quite a bit.
Make sure you go look at our website. That's kind of your one-stop shop for
sure.
We'll write blog posts, and we have all links to all of our shows and all the Cats with Carson roughly on Tuesday. Blake has Hawks with Heble roughly on Wednesdays.
Wednesday, Thursday.
It kind of gets messed up when they play games. I'll have a KU game preview show up on Cats with Carson hopefully by Monday. A lot of stuff going on. Fun weekend in sports with the Super Bowl and the K-State game. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Any final words?
No.
No?
Nothing.
Okay.
Peace.
See you later.